Um, what part did you play in planning the project with the rest of the team?
Um, we all sat down at some point and had a discussion about storylines, and I think
Mm-hmm.
part of my story about my mate that got picked up too early, and
Yeah.
the party
Yeah.
got majorly contributed to the story, and I think that was the the only creative contribution I had, I think.
And didn't you get involved in? You're going to get involved in some of the music as well.
Yes, I will be involved in the sound of the.
How do you think the project went in relation to the plans? Did you have to adapt your plans? If so, how?
Yes, because I planned to be the sound recordist, but there were certain times where I had to go onto set and to be an actor, and so that clashed with certain times. Certain
Couldn't do both things at
I
once.
could no, you can't do both things at once. But yeah, that was a problem, but we overcame it.
Yeah. Explain your role in creating the film.
My role in creating the film, my role is the sound recordist and editor, or not editor. I'll be editing, but it's also
You're going to be doing the Foleys and stuff like that.
yeah, it's like all that sort of thing.
Overall, how far do you think your leadership role within the project was successful? Would you do anything differently?
I think if I were to do anything differently, I would probably speak up and say, well, I didn't get that sound quite as nicely as I'd wanted to.
And
So-
redone it.
Yeah, I'd have had words with the director to get that done again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have done that.
How far do you think you kept to your commitments for your role?
For my role, how far did I get the commitments? Well, I showed up to every
Session?
session. So I've showed up to every session, and I was at every day of filming.
Yeah.
So that shows commitment. And I think
Commitments for your role,
for my role,
which was sound
recordist. Yeah,
Yeah, well, you're fully committed to your role.
Yeah.
Sessions like next Thursday, you're coming in to do.
Yeah, I'm
sound.
coming in next Thursday to do the sound and
Yeah.
do some more editing. So
And you were the one that was sat there with the boom pole and the equipment
Yeah,
there for
yeah.
the whole time.
for the whole time.
throughout the shooting
Yes, say
process.
cut. Yeah, please say cut. Yeah. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah.
How well do you think the rest you did with the work? How well did you work with the rest of the crew?
How well? I worked really well with the rest of the crew. I think they're a great bunch of people, and I really enjoyed it. Made some friends, and it was a nice, friendly bunch, easy to work with.
Anyone that was your highlight of that group?
Huh?
Anyone that's your highlight out of the crew?
Is that a real question?
Is that a real
That's
question?
my own question.
That's your own question.
Chucked in
You.
there. Thanks.
There you go. You're my favourite one.
How well do you think the team worked together on your scenes?
How did the team work together? Really well. I mean, when I was on the boom, I think a lot of the time it was in and out. It was quite easy.
Yeah.
Apart from the second Saturday,
Yeah, that's
where
what.
we had the I Have Never. That was the longest
Yeah.
longest sequence for me,
Mm.
and it's just trying to get the boom shadow out as well.
Yeah.
It's quite
You have to
difficult.
think about.
Yeah, you have to think about the lighting. It all comes into play.
What did you learn about filmmaking from taking part in the project?
I learned that it's tiring.
Yeah.
It's draining. It's really fun, and I love it. I'd love to keep doing it, and yeah, I learned more skills, and I've learned lots of skills, more skills than I could shake a stick at. I was going to say that. I've learned lots of skills, and I'd like to put them into play. I would.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, and over to you. How well do you think the group planned the film?
Yeah, I thought it was reasonably good. Obviously, we had initially like a massive amount of shots which you'd like to include, which would obviously add to what we wanted to achieve, but we had to cut down that number when it actually came to the kind of realistic side of things. When we had long days, but we didn't map into our schedule with like the amount of time certain shots would take and certain setups were going to be.
Okay. What do you think I did well in my leadership role as a sound recordist? What could I have done better as well?
Yeah, I think you were completely committed to being sound man. You were that just what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know. On it?
Yeah, you were fully. Can you just ask that question again?
Okay. What do you think I did well in my leadership role as a sound recordist?
Yeah, I thought you did well in your leadership role as sound recordist. You were the only sound recordist. Basically, you were giving everybody orders and kind of directing that stuff going on with the sound. Yeah, you passed on some good skills to me as well because I was the step in.
Oh yeah, I told you how to do stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
that's
the person who
good stuff.
stepped in for sound when Deck was acting.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, how could I improve my communication skills in my role?
Sleep less of the time.
Oh,
No, I'm joking.
Sleep more.
Yeah.
No.
No. How could you? What was the question? Sorry.
How could I improve my communication skills in my role?
I would say the only flaw, but it's not you in particular, but it's just the amount of people on set is that certain people would be in the loop of what we're going to shoot, and obviously the
Some
sound
people
is
be left out.
deeply involved, and certain people be left out, and obviously when it's sound involved, everyone needs to be being quiet, which is the only thing, but that's not actually your role. But yeah, that's the only breakdown in communication, I'd say.
In what ways do you think the group worked well together on the film?
Well, there was no arguments, nothing really went majorly wrong. Everybody was up for letting other people try new things and pretty willing to compromise, and yeah, it was a good team. And good group of people as well. Definitely think they picked a good group of people based on their people skills, I would say. Yeah.
So, thank you very much.
Thank you.